Salute and welcome to the Stories and Cocktails podcast, where you'll enjoy an entertaining short story from acclaimed humor columnist Rob Kreider. Story time is the family portion of the show. Then we move on from the stories to the cocktails. This is where the alcohol and the not safe for work portion of the show takes over, as Rob and his wife /editor /muse Sara Kreider are taking some adult beverages and provide you with a behind the scenes recap of what really inspired the original story. Put your feet up, relax, and enjoy yourself a round of stories and cocktails. Cheers.
This article is called Just Squash It by Rob Kreider. Hey, that's me. When I stood at the altar with my wife, I made some promises. I promised to stay with her through sickness, health, and even when her parents visit. But one thing I don't remember from the ceremony was it would be my sole responsibility to have to kill every living creature that flies into our home or has more than 4 legs. My wife, whom I love, absolutely demands that I squish, smash, swat, or step on every insect that comes into our home. She is deathly afraid of bugs, but so am I. Since we are both scared of the little pests, why am I the one strapped with the job of executioner to a bunch of insects? I thought that since we both don't like bugs, we should flip a quarter every time we see a spider. Of course, if I won the coin toss, it would only lead to, how about 2 out of 3? And if I won the second coin toss, it would then lead to, just kill it because you're a man, it's your job. I asked her, what is it about being a man that makes you think I'm better at killing bugs? I'm not actually going to use one of my testicles to smash the spiders. Who was it that declared that only men can murder insects? Is it in the Bible? I understand that some things we do are based on sex. For instance, women, because of the way they are built, naturally give birth to our children. And men, because of the way we are built, naturally ignore our wives while we're watching television commercials. These things are deeply ingrained in our gender, whereas popping insects inside out is not. I'm not going to lie, bugs creep me out. I'd rather do battle with a 200-pound pit bull than a 2-inch spider. I try to get out of bug duty any chance I can. The first time my wife and I haggled over a spider was shortly after our wedding, while living in our first apartment. Our little abode was less of an apartment and more of a spider's nest with plumbing. We actually paid our rent directly to the spiders. Because we were newlyweds, my wife did not yet know that I was a big wimp. She soon found out when a spider the size of a Hyundai came out from behind our stove. My wife saw the spider first and came running out of the kitchen immediately, demanding that I go in there and kill the spider. I cautiously entered the kitchen on my tiptoes and saw the big, hairy monster for myself. It was motionless on the wall. It was the ugliest thing I had ever seen. Due to the extremely large size of the spider, I asked my wife if there was someone we were supposed to call, like an exterminator, or maybe the military. This spider was so big, I wanted to dial 911. She started to yell at me to stop wasting time and kill it before it disappeared behind the stove again. I grabbed a People magazine that was lying on the kitchen table and rolled it up. My wife protested that she had not finished reading the magazine and didn't want spider guts on it. I asked her, what do you want? You want the spider dead, or do you want to read about Brad Pitt? She said, I want you to kill the spider with something else so I can still read about Brad Pitt. So I told her, well, why don't you get Brad Pitt to kill the spider for you? I dropped the People magazine, grabbed a shoe, and headed back into the kitchen to do battle. As I got closer to the spider, I actually heard him talk to me. He looked at me with his 6 eyes and said, don't even think about it, buddy. Take one more step towards me, and I'll wait till you go to sleep, spiral down, and lay eggs in your throat. I took it as a credible threat. I left the kitchen and told my wife we should probably just find a different apartment to live in. She told me to get over it and get back in the kitchen and do my job as a man. So I went back in. I got about 4 feet from the spider, threw the shoe at him, then ran into the living room screaming like a schoolgirl. My wife was quick to inform me that I missed the 8-legged monster and that it was now crawling along the wall nearing the living room. It's chasing me, I said. I must have made it mad. Then the spider ducked under a floorboard and disappeared from our sight. You let it get away, my wife screamed. My poor wife. She had to watch her big, strong husband turn into a little wuss when faced with a bug. And she had to sleep that night in our apartment with a spider that looked like it could open the refrigerator if it wanted to. I'm pretty sure my wife was considering divorce that night after my display of cowardice. Not really knowing what to do in this situation, I called my dad, a well-known heroic spider killer, to ask for his advice. He told me that even though it appeared that he had squashed hundreds of spiders, He had actually not killed a spider in more than 10 years. He said his secret was the swoop and flush method. He got a piece of toilet paper, went up to the spider, and banged on the wall just a few inches above it. The spider would scurry away behind the couch or under the kid's bed. He would then quickly yell out, "I got him!" Then he would squish the toilet paper up in his hand and run up to the toilet where he would flush down the empty ball of toilet paper before anyone could check to see if he really did kill a spider or not. Pure genius. I went ahead and adopted the swoop and flush method for myself and have subsequently saved my marriage. Women love me, spiders fear me. Or do they? By the way, my wife sleeps through the night without any worries at all, while I lay in bed at night with my mouth very tightly closed.
Okay, folks, it's time to pop that top and let's get to those cocktails.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Stories and Cocktails Podcast. We are happy to be here tonight. Normally, we do this show from very fancy hotels like, popping the top on a Bud Light, Mrs. Kreider.
Bud Light.
You're not messing around.
No.
I like your style. What am I drinking tonight? You said you're going to explain it because I don't remember.
That's the new Smirnoff Zero Sugar infusions. And we've had the strawberry and rose. Tonight we did the cucumber and lime.
Yes,
It was fucking
7-Up
delicious.
Zero. It's very
It's
cucumbery and
delicious.
refreshing and green, and it is fucking good. Oh, that's the sound of one of my dogs below me. Making sure they're on the podcast. That's good they're on here because I'm going to talk about the little motherfuckers today. So we're going to do a story today called Just Squash It. June 12th, 2003 in the Santa Maria Sun. This is an old story, a Kreider classic, if I would say, from the Man Overboard series. But it's really apropos tonight because we are not coming to you from a very fancy hotel like the Hollywood Roosevelt. We're coming to you from a dirt apartment in Fresno, which is now our residence, which we moved into 2 days ago.
Got the keys on the 7th. It's the 10th. So we are 3 days into a 300.
2 nights.
Okay, we are 2 nights into a 365 night lease. Although I think 2024
Only 363.
I think 2024 is a fucking leap year.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no. We're getting out 2023. My
Yeah,
bad.
we are.
I'm
We're
getting
good.
ahead.
We're going to
Okay.
be golden.
So we've got 363 nights to go.
So you might ask yourself, you people seem like you got your crap together. Why would you possibly find yourselves at this point in your lives
Where you're counting down the days to your
or
lease is
living in a
over.
fucking apartment? We've owned multiple homes. We've raised children. We both have good jobs. Why are we living in an apartment? I'll tell you why. Because our landlord said we're going to raise our rent $100. And we're like, fuck you, man. We'll save $1,000 and downsize from a 5-bedroom home into a 2-bedroom apartment, which looked really shiny when we first came by. They got a pool and a pool table,
But
and
also,
a conference room.
our math was bad.
It's getting less and less shiny.
It wasn't ever going to be $1,000. It was going to be like
In savings?
$600. Yeah.
Now, how much would I pay not to fucking be in
Right.
this situation right now? Because let me tell you what's happened since I moved in here. One,
Okay. So our landlord in our old place raised the rent. But why would you be renting in the first place when you own multiple?
why would you
That's
rent
a
if you had homes that you owned?
That's a whole other podcast. 2 things were happening. Our elderly, sickly dog, her hip is displaced.
Yeah.
And after we got $600 worth of x-rays from the vet, so he could tell us like,
And now she's on $200 a month pain meds for life.
so he could tell us like, she's old and her hip is just, and I'm like, I could tell you that just from walking her down the fucking stairs. Like, tell me something that the x-rays can only tell me or something that the fucking
Right.
veterinary degree can only tell me. But he's like, yeah, it hurts her to go down the stairs. Okay. So that's why, so in our old house, we had stairs and she was shitting upstairs because it hurt her to go down
So
the
this
stairs.
is a $60 rescue dog we got, and now it's costing me a small fucking fortune.
So she's shitting upstairs because mine and the vet's theory, and it really was a collaborative effort. And I paid him $600 so I could collaborate with him on the diagnosis.
You've had a lot of theories about this $60 dog.
Hurts her
most
to
of them
go
being wrong.
down the stairs. So then the dog is shitting upstairs. The landlord raises our rent, and we say, wait, why would we pay this much money to have our dog shit up the stairs? Let's go move in a downstairs apartment around the corner, save $600.
Yeah, and the dog will be fine. So since we've been here, let's do the scoreboard now. She shit on the kitchen floor immediately.
Yeah.
Right when we moved in. Then this morning, I rolled over on a piece of
Well,
poo
she
in my
also-
bed, and then she shit on a chair today. So she's got the floor, the bed, and the chair.
Well, the kitchen floor, the bed, and the chair, and then there was also some carpeting that I didn't tell you about.
That's probably a good call to keep me out of all
So
the
we've
pooping.
only been here 2 days. She's had 4 poop accidents.
Yeah, accidents.
Okay, so I need to go back to the vet. He and I, we need to
Another
collaborate
hypothesis.
again. Yeah, we need to say, okay, we took the stairs out of the equation.
I think I can potty train this dog with a bullet to the back of the fucking head. That's the
my
only way we're going to keep this dog from shitting in the house.
So dark.
Listen, I don't want to be angry on the show, but I rolled over this morning on poo. 2 dogs were on me and a piece of poo on me. And then I had to watch the fucking Raiders lose on Monday night by 1 point because Derek Carr sucks, and then the dog shit in the couch.
Yeah. No, all those things happen. But what you're failing to bring up is in addition to that. So we have the genius idea to save money, to save the dog, move into a downstairs apartment, $600
Financially, it makes
cheaper.
perfect sense.
The dog won't have to navigate the stairs anymore. We can tell the landlord, "Fuck you for
Fuck
raising
you,
our rent,
$100. Kiss my nuts.
$100 in 3 years. Fuck you."
Totally unreasonable in this economy. How dare you, sir?
So we get the satisfaction of all of that. So we can move into this apartment, and there's bugs, there's roaches. Okay, it's tomato, a roach, a water bug. They're telling us they're just water bugs, and then the internet is like, "Hey, water bugs are fucking roaches. They like water." Like that's the only difference.
We've seen multiple species of roaches in this dirt apartment.
Well, yeah, that's what I love today is the maintenance guy. Everyone is fucking pulling my dick, and they're just like, "It's a water bug. It's this. It's that. It's not a roach. Are you sure you saw what you saw?"
It's fine.
Finally, the maintenance guy shows up today. He's the first person who's going to be fucking honest with me. And he's like, "What color was it?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck me. Are there different colored roaches in this particular complex?"
In this dirt apartment hotel?
It turns out there are.
Complex?
So then we had a conversation about the different colored roaches. And I had narrowed it down to the 2 colors that I had seen. I was like, look, the water bugs, they're like an oak color. I know those. The one that we saw last night, it was like a reddish black. And then we went into size. He's like, was it reddish black medium, reddish black large, or reddish black small? And then he started talking to me. I swear, I can't make this up. American roaches, Turkish roaches, and then like a third roach species, which I can't remember which country it hails from, but they all exist here in this California.
I don't understand the sizing, medium, small, large. The thing was the size of Toyota Tundra. It was fucking huge.
Okay, well, the medium ones come from Madagascar or something, or maybe I have that backwards. But the one we saw in our kitchen, the maintenance guy and I, whose name I didn't catch, we classified it as a large, reddish, blackish roach, and he thinks that's the American brand. And I don't know, something about
how
they
is
don't
any
like
of these
indoors.
classifications going to make me feel better about living in a roach motel?
Well, not okay. Like when you actually have to start discussing the brand of the roach or the country that it hails from.
This is just called distraction. Like, oh no, that's a water bug. Oh, it's an American roach. You're fine.
Okay, when you have to start talking about the nationality of the roach.
Well, don't be fucking racist.
Well, okay, I'm not. I'm being whatever. Nationalism. If it's American or Turkish, and I can't remember what the third one was, you have a roach problem.
Why am I drinking on a fucking Monday night? Well, the Raiders lost and I have roaches.
Well, and our dog shits in the house.
It's a 1-year lease.
Only 363 nights to go.
Yeah, I need to put that countdown. I have a countdown to my retirement and I have a countdown to the fucking lease ending.
Now, this wouldn't be an issue though. I'm gonna bring it back to the story.
Well, there was an issue where I maybe failed to kill a roach when I.
Well, I
was off my game.
Living with bugs wouldn't be as big of an issue if we weren't both such pussies about it.
No, but I bought the spray. I sprayed. I'm
taking some
cracks. I've been wrapping up the fucking bugs. I was down with the water bugs. I'm slaughtering these motherfuckers. I'm doing my part. I'm either picking up a dead bug or I'm picking up a piece of dog shit. And then all of a sudden, I walk in the kitchen and a small truck of a roach runs across. It's so fucking big. I was enthralled by its presence.
Well, okay.
I wasn't scared. I was like, holy shit, look at this fucking thing. This is a fucking roach. Like, this is like horror TV. So this is like a commercial why you need pesticides roach.
Based on its size and color, me and the maintenance guy think that's an American roach.
Did you talk about how it was laying an egg off the back of it?
No, I didn't even fucking get into it with them about that because I was just so like trying to like piece together which country these roaches come from.
So I was just like, this fucking thing is big. Okay, baby,
so
you got to take a look at it.
So
and then
you
you're like,
walk into the
kill
kitchen.
it, motherfucker, kill it. And I was like, but wait, you got to see it.
You walk into the kitchen and you go, oh shit. And I'm like, okay, that could be anything. That could be a water bug. That could be a new roach.
Another turd.
That could literally be shit from our dog. Like, oh shit, she's shitting in the kitchen again. So you say, oh shit. And I'm just like, what? And then you say, baby, you got to see the size of this roach. And I'm just like, no, fuck you, dude. I'll see it squid. I will see the size of the splatter.
I'll see the carcass of said roach.
When you crush it with your fucking shoe. And then you're just standing there. And I can't see your whole body. I could just see like over the kitchen counter. I could just see like the top half of you. And the way you're standing there with your thumb up your ass, looking so confused. I'm like, oh, he's barefoot. He's barefoot. He doesn't know how to kill this roach because he
doesn't have the facility to do it.
I lean over the kitchen counter from the other direction. I lean over the kitchen counter and I grab the bleach spray bottle because we have like the cleaning shit out because we're moving in.
You just gave me whatever was in front of you.
And I go, here, spray it with this because I'm still thinking you're helpless, like you're barefoot.
Well, I was helpless, but
so
I wasn't barefoot.
hand you the bleach.
Yep.
And then I don't know. You start spraying this bleach at everything but the fucking roach, and the roach skitters away underneath the kitchen cabinets,
just like a spider,
so that it could lay its fucking roach babies and shit.
It was dropping eggs as it was running from
all over our freaking every pot and pan and dish that we have. And then I come around the corner and I'm like, baby, what happened? And then I look, and your fucking feet fully shoes, socks, like all.
I mean, not just.
Gear
it's a good footwear. I'm wearing a nice
need.
pair of Skechers. Like I was really, really ready to stomp.
So then I was like, why didn't you fucking step on that fucking thing? And then you're just like, because I wanted you to see how big it was. Like what?
It was amazing.
Okay,
it was so fucking crazy.
I'm reading this fucking spider story tonight, right? And I mean, it's like. It's a fucking repeat, like where you're just standing in the kitchen. It's a kitchen again. You're standing in the kitchen.
Of a little apartment.
I don't know why I would expect you to be of any use to fucking anyone in the kitchen. You go in the kitchen.
Cook anything.
Yeah,
can't kill anything.
I mean, there's never been a more useful fucking person in the goddamn kitchen.
Can't cook and can't kill in the kitchen.
Than you. So I'm reading the story and I'm getting like, I'm triggered. I'm like, fuck this fucking guy. Like, he can't kill a spider.
You should leave me.
He can't kill a roach. But then I'm also...
Go find a real man.
Then I'm also mad at myself because I'm like, okay, I guess I knew it. I knew it in 96. You know? I mean, shame on me once, right?
2022 now.
No, shame on you once. Shame on me twice. How's that saying go?
It means you're dumb.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm still fucking around. It's 2022 from 1996. The man can't kill fucking bugs. What am I doing moving into a goddamn apartment with him again?
I think you got it wrong. It's not that I can't. I choose not to.
So if I retrace our steps.
Yeah.
1996, we lived in an apartment. You didn't kill spiders. I was like.
But you had no choice. You were pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
And you were like, well, I guess I married this guy who's kind of a wuss with the spiders, but I'm having his baby, so I guess I'm in for the long haul.
And it was an older apartment in downtown Napa.
With some very large spiders.
So it was an older apartment because downtown Napa is all like Victorian homes. Yeah. Everything
over
was
100 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, okay, we got to get out of here. We got to get something newer. Now I knew we couldn't buy then, so I had a plan. We just, in my mind, it was the spiders went with like the Victorian. Right?
Yeah.
It was older.
They're old, elderly spiders.
Newer. So then our next apartment
Yeah.
It was bigger and newer, and we didn't have spiders.
Yeah.
We had mice.
Yeah, that was Santa Maria. Lompoc.
So we had mice. So then I said, fuck this. We have to buy now.
Yes.
So I got our spending in order.
We paid off some
started
debt.
paying our credit cards off.
Yep.
We bought a house. The first thing I did, before we even got the keys to that house, we hadn't even closed escrow yet, and I was already getting pest service.
Yeah. I don't even think
house.
You called PG&E to get the power on. You called the pest guy.
I did. I got a pest guy. That was 1999.
Yep.
I had a pest guy religiously in every home we owned. And the last few homes that we owned, I loved my pest guy so much, I brought him with me. I'm like, hey, we're moving. I need you.
You always did have a pretty good relationship with our pest guys.
100%, because they're super, super,
Who
super
is
important.
Addie's real father? Is it me?
Okay, I was pregnant when we moved into our house in 1999. Now, had I had a third child, definitely would have been the pest
Probably
guys.
like a real manly spider killing motherfucker, right?
Yeah, no, it totally would have been a
like
Carl's.
guy drives a truck, wears boots, sprays poison.
I literally just said his name.
What was his name?
Carl.
Carl, got it.
Yeah, that was our first pest guy. Anyways, I had these pest guys. I formed real attachments to them. I wasn't without a pest guy from 1999 until 2 days ago when we moved into this apartment.
How many water bugs have you seen since we moved in this? Because I've killed a lot of them with the spray.
Okay,
I'm thinking maybe 12.
I've seen more water bugs and roaches and bugs in this apartment in general in the last 2 days than I saw in the last 10 years in all my houses that Carl serviced.
And full disclosure, before we sold one of our houses and moved to the Barbie Dream House by the airport, we got one red roach in a garbage can. And we sold that fucking place.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, well, Carl was off sick or
Yeah,
something.
it wasn't.
I don't know.
And then we had birds at the new house.
But so then we're in this fucking place for 2 days, and now I remember, like, oh shit, I forgot. I agreed to go back into an apartment with you because I forgot that you won't kill bugs.
So the concept of the apartment was this. We thought it was going to be cozy. Like, we're empty nesters. We don't need so much house. Like, we'll be better to the environment. Who needs to air condition all this square footage? Like, we just need a little place to, like, watch some football and make some drinks and do some podcasting, like, and write some stories and crochet some blankets. Like, that doesn't take a lot of fucking square footage. Let's go move into an apartment where we don't have to mow the lawn and fix stuff and shit like that. And, you know, the reality is totally different. The reality is our dog is still shitting on everything. This place is a dirt apartment complex with fucking dirt people, with dirt roaches. Everything's dirty.
Now, it turns out that crocheting some blankets requires more square footage than you thought, though.
Yeah, so I will say during the move, I was surprised. So one of the things I did was, I know there's certain things about me that you don't like. Like, one, you don't like that I don't kill insects. Two, you don't like that I keep, like, if I wrote a poem in high school, I probably still have it on, like, some kind of fucking, you know, trapper keeper shoved in a fucking closet.
Oh, no.
What I did was, I
no.
got ahead of it, and I packed my shit when you weren't paying attention, and you didn't have to see me move that stuff.
Can I go back for a minute?
Sure.
Okay, the poem you wrote in high school. It's on a binder paper because that's what you had in high school, and it's in like a plastic sleeve in a binder. You have since taken a picture of said poem and digitized it.
Well, I'm a writer.
And then so it's digitized like in your computer, and then you've backed it up on a hard drive. So now we have it in the binder, digitized.
Well, I have it on archival backing paper.
In the hard drive. And then you probably have put it in some kind of slideshow. Like best of
Rob's high school poetry.
Yeah, slideshow.
It was very dark. So anyways, the thing is, you see you're making fun of me.
I'm not.
I am
applauding your archival talents.
I didn't do this to you. I didn't say, hey, let's move to an apartment. And I didn't say, hey, rummage around and go pick up a very heavy box full of my poetry from high school. Because when you pick that box up, you're going to look at me and you're going to judge me. You're like, really, motherfucker? Are we still keeping this shit? You haven't opened this box for fucking 20 years. And who gives a fuck if you wrote a fucking goddamn poem about your ex-girlfriend in high school? She was lame anyways. And I'd be like, yeah, you're right. So what I did was I carefully jumped ahead and moved all my dirty laundry, right? You don't need to see racing trophies and high school poetry. I just moved them. Okay, and you didn't even know when I did it or where it is in this apartment now.
Okay, but
you didn't give me the same respect.
Pause. I gave you that same courtesy. I went to work. You took a day off, and I said to you.
I planned ahead.
I said to you the night before, I said, what do you think you're going to do tomorrow? And then I said, tell me exactly.
I'm going to move shit from the house to the apartment. That's what I'm going to do.
Tell me exactly what part of the house do you think you're going to work on? Like what closets, what room? Because I was anticipating that I didn't want you to go into certain, like I was going to move my own shit. So
your own dirty laundry.
Yes. And okay, so that's defense number one. Defense number one is I specifically asked you, where are you going to move? Like what rooms?
I would like to take each defense. I would like to take each defense at a time.
But I haven't gotten to say
because there's no fucking part of that house didn't have your shit everywhere.
Okay,
your shit was everywhere.
Okay, but also
I couldn't even move anything that day without moving your crap.
Also, you said something about like my high school poems. You haven't even looked at these since high school. I just want to say those blankets were all crocheted within the last year. So so comparing them to poetry you wrote in high school 30 years ago compared to a blanket I fucking finished.
But we're not here to justify our dirty laundry and our shit. We all carry our own shit around.
Well, I was gonna carry my own fucking blankets over
but you
here.
didn't. I carried my own shit.
Because I had to
and
go
I
to
carried
work.
your shit.
Because I had to go to work.
That's why you call in sick when I'm not paying attention, and you fucking box that shit up, and you don't let anybody know about your dirty hoarding fucking habits.
My fucking crocheted blankets.
Baby, I love you. You pack rat shit. Your superpower, if you were a superhero, right? They're like, what is your power? Can you use your eyes to like melt a bank vault? No. What you can do is you can rat hole shit everywhere. Everywhere. Like, I mean, in between your glove box and the fucking center console in a car to every single drawer, every single closet. And I didn't realize how many closets and how many drawers were in that fucking house that we lived in. 5-bedroom, 2-story house. You went big. We then had to put all that shit into a 2-bedroom dirt apartment. And I was the one who did that.
I could also float really good in water.
You do have.
That's my other.
Yeah,
superpower.
you do that as well.
I can
well.
rat hole shit. Apparently,
You rat hole shit.
blankets that I crocheted. Now you didn't say that my super talent was fucking. I can take yarn.
You do.
I could take a thread.
That is a talent of yours.
No, but a superpower that I also can do is I can take thread and I can turn it into a warm, cozy, comforting, soft blanket.
Yes. Listeners to this
Also,
show,
I can
if
float.
you would like a homemade crocheted blanket from the Stories and Cocktails podcast, just DM me and we will give you one because we have fucking plenty of them. And they're awesome. You sell them on eBay. You give them to the homeless. You've won numerous times best blanket at the Fresno County Fair. Like, you're fucking amazing. I never said you suck at making blankets. I just said, how many blankets are we going to keep?
You said my superpower was rat holing, and it sounds like I didn't win any awards from the fair in rat holing, but I did win awards in the fair for crocheting.
No, you could
So
win the
like
award
my
of being on the show
superpower-
Hoarders. You could be a contestant on the show
No,
Hoarders.
They're
'cause you
dirty.
hoard.
I'm not dirty. Also, I feel like my superpower should be I can turn thread into a blanket, and I can float.
My superpower is
Really
I haven't
good.
killed you
I can
through this
float.
process.
I mean,
I haven't left you, and I haven't killed you.
I could float though.
I'm going to give you some dark statistics. Statistically, women.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. You like to keep it positive on the.
I know. I'm
podcast.
just. This is a joke because it's true.
It's not a joke. It's true. This is what he says. I'm going to cut him off so that he might try to kill me. And statistically, if anyone were going to kill me, it'd be him. Because statistically, everyone who gets murdered by their husband.
No, that's not. That's incorrect statistics. I can't say everyone. Statistically,
Women.
The highest percentage, the person who will murder you, if you're a woman, the person who will murder you is the person that you marry. That's just the facts, people. You can get on all kinds of different criminology websites and find this data out. You're not going to be killed by a stranger. You're not going to be raped by a stranger. You're not going to be run down in New York Central Park and killed. You'll be killed by the husband, the one you chose, the one who walked you down the aisle. That's who will kill you. You know why? Because you rat-holed a bunch of fucking shit and you made him break his fucking back moving it down the street. For what? For what fucking reason? So the dog can shit in the bed and shit on the couch and shit on the floor and we can chase roaches and then I get in trouble because I didn't kill it fast enough. The whole thing became my fault last night.
Not fast enough at all.
This whole disaster became my fault last night because I didn't step on a roach fast enough.
No, not fast enough at all.
I didn't infest this place with
Still
roaches.
alive.
I didn't fucking want to do this. This is not my fault.
Still alive.
He's still crawling around right now, shitting on the kitchen plates.
Okay. It feels like I got two things to say right now.
Lay it on me, girl.
One, I no longer feel safe in this marriage. I feel like I was just threatened.
Well, statistically, you shouldn't feel safe.
That's another threat.
Statistically, I'll be the one who kills you.
I mean, it's recorded now. I can play it for the police.
Well, you can't play it, you'll be dead. But when the police listen to this episode, like, yeah, probably Rob. But I would already be in cuffs anyways. As soon as you end up dead, I'm arrested.
Well, you know what? I hope a fucking stranger kills me tomorrow and they find this podcast and they blame you.
And I'll be sitting in jail. I'm like, look, man, I thought about it many times, but I didn't do it.
So I don't feel safe anymore. That's number one. Number two.
Fair enough.
Okay. So you were like, don't get mad at me. I didn't put the roaches in this fucking apartment. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. So what did I do this morning? I marched my fucking ass down to the leasing office.
Oh, yes, you did.
And I got mad at them. And you tapped my foot and you quieted my own
Yes, I did.
husband was trying to quiet my voice. I just want
all right.
a voice in this world. And you hushed me. You chose some stranger. You let the fucking stranger rattle on and on and on. Oh, I have water bugs in my house and blah, 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 blah. And she just rattled on and on and on and on.
It's just a fucking reality. Everybody has roaches.
And you didn't fucking reach over and tap her foot and give her a look.
That would be inappropriate if I start tapping her foot.
And give her
That's
a
how
look.
you get fucking divorced.
Like, quiet. You quieted like a typical man. You know what? You want to.
I did do this.
You want to play gender roles.
I do.
You want to quiet.
I like gender roles.
If you want to
very comfortable with my gender roles,
and you want to shush me, if you want to be the man who says, "Woman, calm your tits. Don't let your menopause lead this conversation right now." If you want to be the man who does that, then be the fucking man who steps on the fucking American cockroach that skitters across our fucking kitchen floor.
Hey, I agree. Should we go to the new leasing office and advocate for our current situation with all of the fucking roaches? Yes. But this is what you said. You walked into a minimum wage employee who has no authority to really do anything. We've already interacted with her numerous times. She is not very intelligent, and she's not really getting things done. And this is the words you said directly. You walked in, and you looked at her, and you said, the people that lived in the apartment before us, were they disgusting? And she's like, no. You're like, oh, really? Because the place is infested with roaches. And I read that people who are dirty, they have roaches. So obviously they were disgusting. Because I just moved in and there's roaches. And I'm like, and that comment breeds, working together and compromise and getting things done. No. You were just being a fucking Karen in there. Just ranting. And they're like, weren't you in here Saturday? I recognize your water bottle because you were in there Saturday yelling at those girls. About what?
Okay, but today.
What did you yell at them on Saturday about?
Fucking bugs.
The same thing?
Fucking bugs. Yes, on Saturday I was like, dude, this apartment is fucking infested. And they were like, no, it's not. They're water bugs.
You didn't see those bugs. They're not roaches. They're water bugs.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, you call it whatever the
training
fuck
on your first
you
day.
want.
Hi, you now work at this apartment complex. It's called Dirt Apartment. Now, when someone comes in and says they have roaches, reframe that with the term water bug.
Dude.
It's much more positive.
They could reframe it with fucking
No, those are dream butterflies.
Magical twinkle butterflies. I was going to say butterflies. Magical twinkle glitter butterflies.
Those are about to turn into butterflies. Don't step on them. Bad luck.
Okay, they could reframe it all they want. They could say like, no, those are rainbow unicorns prancing through your fucking kitchen. And I'm going to say.
Each one of them has a lottery ticket.
And I'm going to say, I need someone to come in.
And kill those fucking butterflies.
Get those lottery tickets away from those fucking magical butterfly unicorns and give the lottery tickets to me and then kill those fucking unicorn roaches. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
unicorn roaches.
They could say that all they want. So
you got to give them credit for the reframing because they've had you on your heels the entire time, and you just keep raging against the machine in there, and I just keep cringing and cringing and cringing.
Okay,
I'm like, dude, we're not getting anything accomplished here.
Let's go backwards.
We're just screaming at these
You're right.
women.
They have had me on my heels this entire time because let's forget about the fucking bugs, right? Water bugs, roaches. Let's forget about that. Let's talk about the lease. Let's talk about the lease that we all signed.
The one they changed?
And then they change it. They add $100 to it. I'm like, no, you don't understand. We moved out of our last fucking house over $100. You just added $100. And then she says this to me. Well, everyone makes mistakes. I'm like, not on signed fucking contracts.
Yeah. Well, we haven't. So full disclosure, we are going to stick that lease up their ass pretty soon here because we signed a lease for $100 less. We're going to win that fight. But I chose not to have that fight today because I want to get the sink. Oh, we have a leaking sink and no fucking lights, and we have a fucking crooked chandelier. Like we had a fucking laundry
two
list
running
of things.
toilets.
The toilets just run all night long. We had a laundry list of things I wanted to accomplish. I just wanted to get you the key to the pool, and you're just like, fucking bitch. Were the people in here before disgusting? I'm like, let's get the fucking pool key first before we start yelling at these people. You want the sink fixed? You're gonna fucking scream at these bitches about fucking roaches? They can't do shit about the roaches. These chicks just work in an office. My God.
Okay. So the nicest maintenance man finally comes today. The nicest maintenance. And he basically says, he's like, okay, there's 4 of us that work here. And he's like, 2 of us are proficient at our jobs. And I love that he said proficient at our jobs. And he was like super proud of that. He's like, 2 of us are proficient. And I'm like,
you only want me fixing your toilet because
like,
everyone else here sucks balls.
I'm like, I'm not looking for proficiency. I'm looking for exceptionalism. But I will settle. At this point, I will settle for the 2
He's
of
like,
you.
lady, You
are
obviously you
proficient
must
at
be
your
a Karen.
jobs.
You must have owned your own home. You live in a dirt apartment now. You can ask all day long. We might fix that toilet. We might not.
So
We
then
might
he
jiggle
says-
the thing. Go like, look, I just jiggled it. Just jiggle it like this. You'll be fine.
Well, that's basically what. So he's like, 2 of us are proficient at our jobs, and he's like, you must have gotten one of the other 2.
Yeah.
And he's like, they'll just sign off on anything.
Well, I already had one guy. I'm like, hey, this door is kind of sticky. He's like, yeah, see this spring right here? You push down, it kind of sticks. I'm like, yeah, fuckhead. I want you to fix that spring so the door opens in the laundry
You
room.
didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, he already fixed the laundry room door. It's already sticking again. Obviously, I had the other guy. He's like, see, it's this spring right here.
Oh, was that when you did the walkthrough and I wasn't here?
Yeah, when I found a water bug.
And you didn't kill it.
Yeah. We also have stains in the carpet. We have a bunch of problems here. So we were trying to accomplish some things. We are definitely going to fight the lease, but I'm like, we'll fight that lease in the first when we pay them $100 less, and they seem confused. And we'll be like, I need to talk to the manager. But right now, I'm not talking to those women.
I'm not doing that.
And her name is fucking Mercedes, by the way. Of course it is. So when you have roaches in your dirt apartment and you're trying to get something accomplished, you have to get through Mercedes, who also closes early.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, hey, how late do you guys open? My wife's got to come in and get those keys and give her the lease shit sign for the dogs. And we're also going to go ahead and give it the license plate number. She's like, yeah, we're open till 6. I'm like, great. You're rolling at 5:15, fucking closed.
And then the next day I go in and I go, hey, I was here yesterday at like 5:15 to do all of this. And they're like, oh, yeah, we closed early. Sorry. Like, we hope it wasn't an inconvenience. I'm like, well, it kind of was.
It was a massive inconvenience. We had no fucking keys to get in the apartment. We're trying to move the fucking house.
The important thing is, though, that we went in and we signed the document that said that our dog isn't a pit bull. So we are complicit in this apartment complex.
Because our dog
racist
definitely a pit bull.
Dog. Okay, but not
it's a pit Wawa. It's a pit
but
bull
not a pit
Chihuahua
bull.
mix.
Those are racist policies, dude.
For sure.
And
They're
now
trying to
I
keep the
live here.
riffraff, the pit bull and riffraff out of here.
And now I live here, and that makes me complicit.
We're giving money to the man supporting
know.
this racist policy.
I'm
And
like,
you know what they feed us? Roaches.
I know. I'm like, hey, how about we care less about the fucking pit bulls who are like these gentle giant dogs, and we care more about the fucking unicorn glitter roaches that are going through my kitchen.
A unicorn glitter roach. I love it. I'm going to make a fucking sign for the kitchen. Home of the unicorn glitter roach. Welcome to the kitchen.
Still a roach.
Wash your plate before you use it.
Yes.
And on that, I'm going to cheers you, and we're going to call it a night. Thank you for joining us here on Stories and Podcasts in our first couple nights in our dirt apartment. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hold on, everybody. It's not last call yet. We have another story on this episode. Excuse me, ma'am. Can I get another round?
If you enjoy hearing Rob Kreider's different humor columns here on the Stories and Cocktails podcast, then I promise you will love his novel, Cadet Blues. Cadet Blues is Rob's hilarious tell-all about desperately trying to survive the shock and awe boot camp-style training at the California Highway Patrol Academy. People from all different walks of life have come to love this book because Cadet Blues is simply a crazy good read. Heartfelt, inspiring, and damn funny. It's available in paperback through Amazon, eBay, or cadetblues.com, where you can get free shipping and a personalized autographed book. Or you can download a digital copy of Cadet Blues from Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble Nook, or Apple iBooks. Do yourself a favor and check out the novel, Cadet Blues.
Okay, folks, we have one drink down the gullet, which means we need to get our next one on deck. Time to enjoy the second story. Bartender!
This story is called Tech Support or a Bullet in Your Brain by Rob Kreider. Hey, that's me. The other night, I was happily surfing the internet, checking for good deals on Elvis Pez dispensers from Austria, when my computer suddenly turned off. At first, I thought it was a power outage, until I realized that every light in my house was still on. And I mean every single light. My kids are light switch disabled. The power was obviously still on, but my computer was not. I got it to start back up, but then for some reason I couldn't access the internet. No internet meant no eBay. I was starting to think the whole thing was a conspiracy, meant to keep me from outbidding somebody at the last possible second for the 1970s Elvis Pez I had my eye on. Since my 11-year-old son knows more about my computer than I do, I asked him for help. He was too busy playing video games in his own room to help his old man. I was on my own. My wife, whom I love, casually suggested, in a tone that insinuated I was a moron, that instead of bothering our son, I should try technical support to fix the problem. I searched through my unorganized desk and finally found what I was looking for. It was a small card that read, "For tech support, go to www.hp.com." That would have all been fine and dandy if I had internet access. I called a friend of mine and asked him to go to hp.com and see if they had a tech support phone number on the site. He seemed slightly annoyed with me, and for good reason. I sat on the phone and listened to his nose breath as he turned on his computer, waited for it to boot up, and got the phone number I was looking for. As a person who's obviously been down this road before me, when he hung up, instead of saying goodbye, he said, "Good luck." I dialed the tech support number and patiently waited while I was on hold. I was forced to listen to elevator music, which was rudely interrupted every 30 seconds by a female voice that said, "Your call is very important to us." Obviously, it was not so important that they didn't mind keeping me on hold for 20 minutes. The female voice continued, "All of our representatives are busy right now," which I assumed meant they were standing by the water cooler talking about last night's episode of Lost. Please hold for the next available person. Or don't, because they don't really care. They know I've already bought their computer, which is why my sorry self was on hold. They already have my money. Finally, after a solid 35 minutes, I know because I had nothing better to do than stare at the clock, a real person came on the line. "Hello, welcome to HP. May I help you?" The accent was very thick. I believe it was probably East Indian. I don't think it was an English as a second language situation. It was more of a learn English on the job training sort of thing. Accent or not, I was talking to a live human being, so I wasn't about to complain. I told the gentleman my predicament, and he ran down a list of things to look at. "Sir, is your computer plugged into the wall right now?" "Yes." "Sir, do you see the black cord on the back of the computer?" "Yes." "Sir, follow that cord and make sure that it's the one that is affixed into an outlet receptacle in your home." "Yeah, I got that. Let's move on to something a little more technical." "Sir, is your computer running?" "Yes." "Well, go and catch it." "Just kidding, sir. Just a little bit of tech support humor." I replied, "I'm surprised you're on the phone with me right now instead of doing Letterman tonight." "Hey man, how are we going to get me back on the internet? I've got Pez dispensers to bid on." "Sir, what I'm going to have you do now is turn the computer off, wait 5 seconds, and then turn it back on. Go to the start button on the bottom of the screen, left click, and go to turn off computer." I've got it. The computer's off." "Sir, I will begin counting the 5 seconds." If Alexander Graham Bell could hear that this was the conversation spoken on telephone lines across oceans and continents from India to California, he would probably find a way to come back from the dead, go back in time, and uninvent the telephone. Finally, after an hour of my life was wasted and the computer still wasn't working, I was ready to hurt someone. I realized that the reason tech support was in India as opposed to Los Angeles wasn't so the company could save money paying lower wages. It was because if I knew the guy I was talking to on the phone was in LA, I would have driven 3 hours just to punch him in the throat. My patience was gone. I had a crick in my neck from holding the phone, and I was done turning things off and back on again, left clicking and putting my right foot in and shaking it all about. Finally, I told my new foreign friend, "Dude, I'll just go buy a new computer. My time is worth more than this." That was a lie. Said to make me feel more important than I am. It turns out my time is actually very cheap. My new Indian tech support friend remained very polite. "Sir, thank you for using HP support, and I hope you make HP your next computer purchase." "Yeah, sure, buddy. That's the first computer I'm going to look at." By the way, I did buy a new computer only to find out the old computer was fine. After talking to Dell's tech support line, which was in Alabama where the accent was thicker than the Indian one, whoops, it was determined it was actually my wireless router that was on the fritz. Sorry, HP.
Okay, patrons, you've been to this bar before. You know it's cocktail hour again. Are we doing shots or what?
Hey, welcome to the Stories and Cocktails podcast. We are in Bakersfield, California, a city where all the girls have fake breasts and blonde hair. I don't know if you've noticed that about Bakersfield. It's very common. That. Yeah. So Bakersfield's an interesting place because
how would I notice that? I haven't left the hotel room since we got here.
Well, I'm just saying, every time I've been to Bakersfield, I've been to a bar in Bakersfield, I'm like, wow, all the girls here have huge boobs and fake blonde hair. But here's what Bakersfield is. It's close enough to LA that has like some LA influence, but there's a mountain between it, the Grapevine, and it's still just kind of a podunk ag town.
Now wait a minute.
They're kind of like, that's how they rock here.
Wait a minute. You and I are on an overnight trip together to Bakersfield tonight. However, this is the very first time we've been on an overnight trip to Bakersfield. We have never recreated here. So you've come down here for work, and I understand like you're down here for work, and you grab a beer with the boys at the bar.
I do.
But I'm here for the first time.
The bar has a lot of women with big breasts.
Tell me
and fake
more
blonde hair. Yeah.
about the fake blonde hair and the big breasted blonde.
Well, I've been collecting
women.
a lot of data on this.
That's your stick. That's how you like them. You know what I mean? Like you're like
They got big butts too.
like, oh shit, I gotta go to Bakersfield again for work. Damn, I'm probably. I mean, I could maybe get it done. Just staying down there Monday night, but fuck, you know how that fog rolls in. I think I'm gonna have to stay Tuesday night too. And I'm like, oh honey, I'm so sorry. Bakersfield is a shithole. I'll miss you.
I'm like, yeah, I'm taking
Your
one
job
for the
is
team.
so hard. And now tonight, it just
Well, I'm
slipped
just
out.
running around with all these big-breasted, fake blonde-haired women from Bakersfield.
You've always kept that from me.
I
So
know.
you're telling like the podcast, you're like, and you guys all know about Bakersfield, right? And I'm like,
Come on down for the big breasts and the blonde chicks.
what do I know about it? Like there isn't a safe place to stop and take a piss on the 99 when you're driving to LA? Like, and it turns out my husband knows a lot.
It's not
about
just a urinal for
Bakersfield.
you to come through town on your way
No,
to Los
apparently-
Angeles to go to the Roosevelt Hotel.
Apparently, it's a place for you to stop and have a couple beers with the boys with some eye candy in the bar.
Well, I'm not saying I really cared either way. I'm just saying that I have a pair of eyes in the front of my face and I see things. And when I'm at the bar, I'm like, these girls all have blonde hair and big boobs.
Sounds like a good place to drink.
It is a pretty good place to drink. And I'm drinking right now. In fact, I'm drinking tequila, obviously.
Okay,
Enough
but
tequila
we should
that
go
I.
to the bar so I could see some of this for my own damn eyes.
All right, well, no, I'm going to show you tonight. You're going to walk around and you're going to like, holy fuck. We're here for the James Dixon concert. And you're going to be like, damn, there's a lot of fucking fake blonde haired boob chicks around here.
Well, dude, full disclosure, I packed a push-up bra because I always.
Well, when in Bakersfield.
Well, I didn't know that. I just thought going to a concert. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to Bakersfield. I got to pack the push-up bra. I was like, oh, I'm going to a concert. I got to like rock star it up. I packed but I always pack the push-up bra. And then what happens is we get into the room. I have a couple drinks. You know, I get comfortable. I'm like, I don't want to fucking put that thing on. That is so fucking
much underwire.
uncomfortable. So I had already talked myself out of wearing it, but now you're telling me because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm in
You can't
Bakersfield.
go
Like
out
I
here-
have to wear
You
it.
can't go out of this hotel room with your boobs not fully pushed up.
Oh,
You're in
God
Bakersfield.
Damn it.
You got to
I didn't
represent.
know. Well, thanks for telling me now.
Well, that's why I let it out here, so you got the information before you got ready to go.
Well, that's true. That's nice of you.
Because I got to walk around here with my trophy. You know what I mean? I'm like, look, I got one too, boys. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, no, wait. That changes things now. That makes me want to go like wash my face, take my makeup off. I don't know, like get like some homeless hairdo. And I don't want to be anybody's trophy, dude.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you rock your own adventure. It's up to you, baby.
You know, it's hard. Like what you're doing right now. I said this last night to Paige. No, Friday night to Paige. I said,
Paige is a woman who's a friend of ours.
yeah. And she is contemplating, she probably doesn't want me to let all of her dirty laundry out. Okay. Anyways, her name isn't Paige. It's Jane. And she's contemplating getting...
Jane Doe.
Yes.
Got it.
And she's like, I'm going to get this plastic surgery. And I was like, hey, what does John Doe think about that? Her husband, because they're the Does.
Yep.
And so we were talking about that. Anyways, I said to her out of your earshot, I was like, okay, you got to admit, it's a fucking tightrope that they're walking over there. And you guys were sitting on the other side of the table. So I was like kind of pointing at like over there, the other side of the table. I'm like, it's a fucking tightrope. Like, what do we want them to say? Like, we want them to say, no, you look fine. Like, you don't need any plastic surgery. But then we also want them to get their wallets out and be like, but if you want to spend this money, like, I don't want to put this money into my car or into a vacation to Hawaii. Like, I totally want to spend it on you, on a surgery that I think that you don't need. And I want to spend next week, like, catering to your every whim. And
We like to
need.
cater to your womb as well.
But anyways, I get that it's a fine fucking line.
I had no idea
That
that
you're
that's what
walking.
you guys were talking about across the table. Because what I was talking about with John Doe was, I said, dude, did you see that girl who just came in the bar? She's got huge boobs.
Oh my God. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Dude, I was having a fucking sense of humor with this Bakersfield shit. You just took it too far.
All right, I am joking. I don't look at women's boobs. I look at the floor as I walk. I don't see what's going on in front of me. But ultimately,
At least not when you're with me, not when you're sitting across the table from me.
I do not.
Okay.
I'm just doing this to make you laugh.
Did
I'm
I-
sure it won't come up
did I laugh?
later. I'm sure I'm going to hear about this later. Let's talk about the story.
Maybe.
All right, this story is called
Tech Support.
Tech Support or a Bullet to the Brain, September 17th, 2008, published in the Santa Maria Sun. This story is a bit of a time capsule in that it does not hold up to modern day. The problems that arise to the storyteller are not problems that exist today. And so I think it doesn't really hold up. It's confusing.
Well, okay.
It's like someone saying, like, back in the day, I had to use a wheel and spin the fucking numbers. And our kids are like, what are you talking about? You know, or, well, you couldn't call me because I was on the internet because I was using the fucking modem. You're like, what are you talking about? This is the same situation where I'm like, I had to call a friend to say, hey, can you get on the internet and give me the phone number for tech support? Where you're like, why don't you just look at your iPhone and use that?
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing. I
No, when I was reading,
I had a Motorola flip phone back
well, when I was reading the story today, like I understood the date 2008. I was like, okay, I don't think we had smartphones yet. Well, we didn't because the iPhone was invented in 2008, and we were latecomers to the iPhone, anyways. But what got me was like I had to call a friend, and I was like, why? Because why didn't I just get on my computer? Why didn't we ask the kids to get on their computers? And then I realized, like, oh, this
wasn't even a laptop computer.
We had one computer.
This was a like CPU plugged into the wall in a desk.
It was a
dedicated like
computer
desk
at the desk. You know what's funny is that we've been looking at a lot of houses lately. I don't know if you've been noticing this or not in the houses.
I mean, you've been dragging me around to all these houses.
Yeah, so we've been looking at a lot of open houses and things that were built so we're looking just where we live. A lot of shit was built like circa 1995, 2005. There was just a huge building boom in Fresno.
Before the crash.
In that time. So we're looking at these houses and they're all, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but they all have like a little desk alcove in like the
our
family
apartment has the same
area.
shit.
Oh, our apartment, yeah. So it's like in the dining room or it's in the living room or it's in the kitchen and it's like a desk alcove. And it was because you had to have the computer in like the family-friendly space.
And it was like a centrally located place for on the computer.
So the kids could do their homework.
Which was very, very uncomfortable for teenage boys to watch porn. Because basically that's how we kept them off of porn. Because you had to be in the kitchen on the fucking family.
Well, yeah, dads too. That's how we kept dads
thing,
off of porn.
Yeah, definitely for dads.
So it was the computer was in a very family safe space. Like everyone had to use it in front of everybody else. And so it was just for work only or homework only. God damn, we have gone so fucking far from there, right?
Buying Pez online. That was a big thing. Like that was no joke. Like we do collect Pez, and eBay was started because a guy's wife collected Pez. That's how eBay was started. Those of you who don't know, that's what eBay was. The first thing sold on was Pez.
Now you know.
Now you know. But ultimately, we were all about it. So we were getting on Pez websites all the time, trying to find Pez, and then boom.
The other night, like most nights, you make me do unpleasant things in this marriage. Like I love you, and so you suggest something, and I'm like, oh, that sounds really uncomfortable, but because I love you,
you take it.
I take it. So I find myself just
uncomfortable position,
just watching
so much pressure.
Yet another shitty fucking movie that you picked out. You pick out the worst fucking movies.
It is my superpower. If you want to see a bad film, let me choose.
Oh, God.
I will find a bad movie. And then I won't turn it off.
You won't turn it off.
I don't know what it is about me. I'm like, look, man, people made this movie. A lot of people got involved. There was a production assistant. There was a director's and editor. These people get paid. I'm going to give them the respect they deserve. Watch this thing until the credits are done.
I will turn it off. I'll say, this is a piece of shit. I'm not watching it. And I'll turn it off. And I'll pick something good. And we're watching something good. And then inevitably I have to pee because, I'm a human and my bladder works. And then while I go and pee.
You have the bladder the size of a peanut.
While I go and pee, you sneak back to the shitty movie. And you're just like, I'm just going to catch another 2.5 minutes real quick of the shitty fucking movie.
Yep.
While you're peeing. So anyways, the other night you said, let's watch Judge Dredd. And it was terrible. It was terrible back in the 90s.
No, I was Sandra Bullock, man.
Oh, it was terrible.
It was good.
But what was so fucking hilarious about that, and I don't know if I would have caught it 20 years ago when the movie was made, or 30 years ago when the movie was made. Like, this joke was a joke ahead of its fucking times.
No, it was Demolition Man is a very futuristic.
Oh, I said Judge
film.
Dredd. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Demolition Man.
That's not the correct film.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Okay, so this
Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock.
This joke was ahead of its time. Do you know which joke I'm going to say? Because it goes with the story.
No.
Okay, so Rob Schneider picks up the phone. He answers. He's a live human being, and he answers the phone, and he's like, hello, this is the, LA Police Department. If you would like to talk to an automated operator, press 1.
Yeah, you laughed your ass off at that.
I fucking laughed my ass off.
Well, I just think you like Rob Schneider.
Well, no, because it's like the whole thing was like this utopia. It was like the future, and it was a utopia.
Like the opposite.
Yes. So in a utopia, the reason I thought it was so funny, do I really have to spell this joke out? It's because in a utopia, a human being answers the phone and the automated operator
opposed to
is
the
an
AI.
option.
Yeah. Thank you for
Opposed to.
explaining that.
Well, yeah, because you were on hold for 20 minutes in the story.
Longer than that.
30 or something
Trying to
like
get
that.
the internet to work again.
Okay, so here's I told you this and you didn't believe me, and now I want to tell our listeners this because this is just a life hack that I need to share with people. Okay, so you get the automated thing, and it's like, if you would like to.
Oh yeah. I've seen you do this.
If you, if you would like your balance, press 2. If you would like to pay, press 3. If you would like to, and it gives you all these options, right? None of the fucking options are talk to a human. None of them. So what I do is I just start yelling at the automated person and just pressing 0 over and over and over. So I just press 0, 0, 0, 0. It's like doot, 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 like 0, like a phone sound. But then I also say, a human being. And I say it like so bitchy. I want to talk to a fucking human being. And I think like that computer like actually recognizes what I'm saying because I say it.
This person stresses up. They're screaming in the phone.
Yeah. And I just keep saying, is there anyone there who's a fucking human being that I can talk to? And then all of a sudden it'll go like this. We were transferring you to a customer service representative. Like, please wait on the line for the next available representative.
So when you're screaming in the phone, I've seen you like really yell at the phone. The translation of what you're really saying is you're like, this is Karen.
Well, yeah.
I know you've heard of her, but I am actually her. And I am calling. Karen is calling, and I need to talk to the fucking manager.
I'm not a Karen. I am the Karen.
Yeah.
The Karen is on the line.
So recently, we have worked as a tag team, Kevin and Karen team, successfully with the apartment complex.
Do you know? Okay, but when I get the person on the phone, do you know the first thing I say to them? Is I say, you know what? I want to apologize ahead of time. I know that you are not responsible for this. Like, I am very frustrated. I just want to warn you, I'm very frustrated. I'm very disappointed. I'm very angry. I tell them like all my feelings. I'm like, I haven't had a period in like 6 weeks. I don't know if it's menopause or if I'm pregnant, but that doesn't make sense. I tell them all of my feelings. I'm like, my husband's racing again. I say, I know none of this is your fault, but I just want you to know, like, I'm going to use a tone of voice that it's because of all of these things. And I know none of it's your fault, but you're just going to fucking absorb it because that's your job.
My name is Karen, and I'm not going to apologize.
Well, but I do, though. I mean, I apologize
false
up front.
apology.
Yeah, right, because I go like this.
Like,
it's a false apology because I'm like, I want to apologize ahead of time for how I'm going to treat you because I am going to mistreat the shit out of you.
Fucked up shit
Yeah.
right now.
Like, and I don't know, probably 6 minutes, I'm going to say to you, actually, this is your line. I've never said this. You went there because we are the Kevin Karen tag team.
We do tag team that well.
You said something like, is there someone there that has half a brain that can handle this for me or something like that?
That doesn't sound like me.
I'm
so cool, calm, and collective on the phone.
Oh, no. And I was like, oh, shit.
I think I said, is there anyone there that can actually solve this problem? Is anyone there going to actually do their job and solve this problem?
Okay, I'm going to grant you that, yes. I think those were the words that came out of your mouth. Is there anyone there who can actually do their job and solve this problem? Those were the words that came out. But do their job? Questionable. Solve this problem? Okay. But the tone translation was, is there anyone there that has half of a fucking brain who isn't stoned or drunk and who gives a shit? Like, what do you make? You make what, $12 an hour? Can I please talk to whoever makes $12.50 an hour? I would like to talk to 50 cents more person than what you have to offer me. Can you do that for me, please? Thank you.
This sounds very elitist.
Fuck us. You know what? We were like between like Boston and New York, and we were trying to get to New York like 1 hour earlier so we can get one drink 1 hour earlier or something. I mean, it was not the end of the world by any means. We were just on vacation.
But I was certainly ruining somebody's life over it.
But we were Kevin and Karen. And so, yes, we are definitely Kevin and Karen. Go, sorry.
No, I don't have anything to say about it. I just ultimately what we've come to saying is that like you'll do your thing and be like, hey, do you need Kevin to step in here and solve this problem? Because Karen is not getting very far right now.
God, because
Because it's the patriarchy, dude.
I know. I hate Kevin and I love him because Kevin solves like a lot of the problems that Karen can't solve. But god damn, it pisses me off because the only difference between us is that dick that's dangling between your legs. Like, they're just like, oh, a man is asking now. Like, oh, she's the bitch. Like, move her aside. Oh, sir, I didn't realize that was the issue. really? Because I told you that was the issue for like 8 minutes. But now he says it, and now you fucking recognize it as an issue and you can fix it. I do not witness sexism quite like when you move in and you say the exact same fucking thing that I say, and then all of a sudden it gets fixed. And so then I like that it gets fixed. I love that part. But then you have this like condescending look at me. You're doing it to me right now.
Because I don't think what you're saying is true. Your perception of it
No.
is that it's the patriarchy.
And then
I'm going to tell you right now what it is.
you go like this.
You come at these people like a fucking lunatic.
Honey.
And I come in cool, calm, and collective.
No, you said, is there anyone there that knows how to do their job and can solve this problem for me? That is not cool, calm, and collected. That is condescending as fuck.
No,
And then
that's a lot more cool, calm, and collected than screaming, I need to talk to a real person.
okay.
I mean, that's what you started with.
I'm saying
I came
that-
in and said,
okay.
hey, man, how you guys doing? Listen, can I get
I
get
say
this
that to
fixed?
the operator. I say that to the automated operator. I say that to I do not say that to a real human. I say that to the when they're like, "What your call is very
When
important
you're on
to
hold,
us."
they're listening, and you
They're not.
don't. They are, and you say all kinds of horrific shit, and they're like, "We're not going to help this person. This fucking Karen is a bitch. Fuck
Okay.
her."
But I want everyone to know that on my worst day, on my worst rants, when I'm saying the worst things, it's never sexist, racist, ableist, or homophobic.
It's always elitist, though.
No, it's just someone who wants someone else to do their fucking job.
Yeah, okay.
That-
It's so messed up, dude. So messed up. I cannot believe I stayed with you this long. What's wrong with you? All right, so on that, folks, we're going to let you go. We have to go see Jane's Addiction. I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. Mrs. Kreider's going to get all dolled up for Bakersfield.
That has a completely different meaning now than it had 20
Brought you right back to that.
9 minutes
I shut you
ago.
right up right there, didn't I?
You did, because I was like dolled
You're like,
up.
oh, that's right. I'm fucking mad at you.
No, I was like dolled up. Like I'm fucking good to. I forgot. I gotta put the fucking push-up bra on. You know that push-up bra has traveled with us to so many places. It has so many miles on it and 0 miles on it. Like it goes everywhere.
It gets a lot of trunk miles.
It's never
Gets
worn.
No actual
No
wear
boob
miles.
time.
no
Yeah,
boob-
it just suitcase time.
I think it's better to alliterate that. No titty time.
No titty time.
I think what you normally do is you put it on and you get in the mirror and you're like, do you like this? I go, yeah. You're like, great. You saw them, and you take it off and you wear a different bra out.
Well, yeah, because it's uncomfortable. But I didn't know that I'm in Bakersfield and now I have to wear it.
Nah, you don't have to, baby. It's all good.
Do I have to go get my hair dyed real quick too before the concert?
I mean, you are a little bit dishwater right now for Bakersfield. You probably should have done a little box dye in for tonight. All right, let's go see Jane's Addiction, man.
Sing us out. Jane says.
I don't sing on the show.
Well, but I know you don't like it when I do, so I was trying to avoid me.
The irony is that I actually did cover Jane Says when I was in my band, Them, in college.
Let's hear it.
We did the song.
Let's hear it.
Ready? Jane Says.
There we go.
I'm done with Sergio.
Yeah.
Treats me like a rag doll.
Yeah. There we go. That was
That's not. I just don't want to sing on the show. I was in a punk rock band. I grueled it out and I did it. You know what? That was a very, very good cover that we did. Everybody fucking loved when we did Jane Says.
Listen.
And then we got a new drummer. And he's like, "This song sucks," and he refused to play it. And then we never got to play it again.
Look, I know you didn't want to sing, but here's the thing. You know how I am with lyrics. Now there's 2 more lyrics that I didn't know. I'm done with Sergio. I had no fucking idea what Jane said. I really didn't. I knew that Jane
is a
shit.
prostitute. Sergio is her pimp. It's a whole thing.
Oh shit!
It's a very dark story. It's
idea.
a story about human trafficking and heroin. When she says she wants to kick tomorrow, she's going to kick heroin tomorrow. It's a rough show.
I had no.
Very heavy song, Jane Says.
I didn't. Oh God. Okay, so you helped me. You gave me some lyrics. I'm like, yeah, fuck Sergio. I'm done with Sergio. I'm like ready to just like rock. And now you're just like, that's the most depressing song. And I'm like, now fuck, I got to get through this concert without fucking crying about
I mean,
Jane.
in the end, it's like she's gonna kick tomorrow. She's gonna move on. She knows that they want her because she's a prostitute. I love them if they love me. I only know they want me.
Okay, that's
That's
tragic.
what she says. I only know they want me. That's really it's a fucking tragic song about human trafficking.
I
Came
thought
out
it
in
was
1989.
Okay, so you know how I am with lyrics.
Nothing
I thought it
shocking
was,
album.
I thought it was. They only know they want it.
No, they only know they want me. I only know they want me.
And I didn't know what it was. I just knew like they only know they want it. And
No,
I'm like,
no.
yeah, everybody wants
I
it.
only know they want me. It's a lot sadder.
All right, well, give me like something happy. Go out on something happy. How about that one campy song they do that I love and you hate?
Been caught stealing? Fucking commercial nightmare.
You don't have the vocal range.
Well, obviously, that's why I tried to sing on this fucking show. I don't have the vocal range. Anyways, we're going to end the show because I want to go see Jane's Addiction, and I want to hear the greatest, saddest song about prostitutes.
Oh, yeah. And I got to, you're depressing me. I was like, and I got to dress like a prostitute. But now you're like, the saddest song. But look, I got to put my New Year's Eve boots on. I got to put my push-up bra on.
And we got to go down to Rite Aid and get you a box dye job before we go to the show.
Oh, shit, yeah. And I got to dye my hair before we go.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be hot.
Well, it's Bakersfield. Hey, blonde, big tits. Okay, then I got it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And that was Last Call. You did it. You survived an episode of Stories and Cocktails. But did Rob or Sarah's liver survive the show? I don't know. Tune into the next episode to find out. To enjoy some more stories and some more cocktails. By the way, if you want to support the debauchery of the show, defy the hosts their next round by Venmoing a couple of gold doubloons at Stories and Cocktails. Back in the day, a gold doubloon was only $4 Spanish. Who knew? Well, folks, I'll be right here behind the bar, cleaning the glassware and awaiting your return to the Stories and Cocktails podcast. Cheerio, friends.